Have you ever stopped to consider why the same word, spirit, is used to describe both the essence of the divine and a substance that can lead to intoxication? Is it merely a linguistic coincidence, or does it point to a far deeper, more profound connection that has been largely forgotten? This question isn't just about the origin of a word. It's about unlocking a richer understanding of ourselves, our potential for transformation, and the very nature of reality. It suggests that mastering ourselves requires something more than mere abstinence, but a conscious navigation of all states of experience. The answer to this mystery lies buried within the ancient practices of alchemy and the esoteric traditions that saw the process of purification as essential to both the physical and spiritual realms. We will explore the concept of Al-Kuhul, the Arabic root of alcohol, which originally referred to a finely ground powder used to purify the eyes, thus drawing a direct parallel between physical and spiritual clarity. This connection reveals that the act of distillation, the very process by which alcohol is created, is not merely a chemical procedure, but a metaphor for the refinement of the soul. In other words, alchemists weren't just trying to turn base metals into gold. They were trying to extract the purest essence of being from the dross of worldly existence, a process with applications that spread far wider than any laboratory. Distillation, then, becomes more than simply separating alcohol from water. Consider it a reflection of how we might separate the essential aspects of our lives, our core values, our authentic selves from the non-essential, such as negative emotions, limiting beliefs, and societal pressures. Just as the alchemists meticulously refined substances in their crucibles, we too can refine our minds and spirits through practices like meditation, contemplation, and self-awareness, actively purifying the channels of awareness blocked by the residue of daily existence. This ancient pursuit, largely forgotten, hints at a revolutionary perspective on both alcohol and the human spirit, promising a transformation far beyond mere intoxication or abstention. Understanding this alchemical link offers a significance that extends far beyond the etymology of a single word. It provides a new lens through which to view sobriety, spiritual practice, and the inherent potential for transformation woven into the very fabric of existence. True sobriety, then, is not about denying ourselves certain experiences, but about cultivating the awareness and control necessary to transmute any experience, even painful ones, into something of value. As individuals purify their own inner landscapes, shedding the shackles of the ego, we collectively contribute to the purification of consciousness on a global scale. Yet, modern society often demonizes alcohol, overlooking its rich history and its deep connection to spiritual practices. What if this demonization has robbed us of a critical perspective on the nature of transformation itself? What if our fear of alcohol is, in fact, a manifestation of our fear of our own potential for profound change, to the kind of inner alchemy capable of reshaping our destinies and opening gateways to greater awareness? By understanding the transformative power embedded within the concept of Al-Kuhul, we can unlock the alchemical potential that resides within each of us, shifting from unconscious reaction to conscious creation. At its heart, the distillation process mimics the separation of the soul from the body, a concept central to numerous esoteric traditions. By heating a liquid, collecting the vapor, and condensing it, alchemists sought to create a purer, more concentrated substance, mirroring the spiritual aspirant's quest to purify the mind and liberate the spirit from the confines of the material world. The spirit is not merely some disembodied entity floating in the ether. Instead, it is the vital life force, the animating principle that permeates all things, from the smallest grain of sand to the most complex organism, and yes, even a bottle of alcohol. This challenges the conventional view of spirituality, rooting it not in some distant heaven, but in the very substance of the earth. In the journey ahead, we will delve into the interconnected wisdom of alchemy, shamanism, and Gnosticism, each offering a unique perspective on the process of purification and transformation. We will explore alchemical texts that detail the stages of inner transmutation, examine shamanic rituals that utilize altered states of consciousness to connect with the spirit world, and uncover the Gnostic understanding of the soul's journey towards enlightenment. Keep in mind that alcohol, like any powerful force, exists within a framework of duality, capable of both healing and destruction, inspiration and intoxication. The key, as with all things, lies in balance and conscious intention, in navigating the shadows of the dark night of the soul with awareness and discernment. Was there a time when alcohol was used consciously and respectfully as a tool for spiritual growth? What happened to that knowledge? Stay tuned to discover how you can use these ancient principles to distill the essence of your own being and unlock your full potential. Let's begin by tracing the fascinating journey of AL-Kuhul, a term that holds the key to understanding the intertwined relationship between the material and spiritual worlds. The word AL-Kuhul finds its roots in the Arabic language, initially referring to kohl, that fine, dark powder meticulously applied to adorn and protect the eyelids. But why is this significant? Kohl wasn't merely a cosmetic flourish. It was a substance believed to possess medicinal properties, offering protection against eye diseases and the harsh desert sun. This protective aspect hints at a deeper symbolism. Consider that the eyes are often referred to as the windows to the soul. Protecting them, therefore, was not just a matter of physical health, but also of safeguarding one's spiritual vision, a concept resonating deeply within esoteric traditions that saw the physical and spiritual as inextricably linked. As such, AL-Kuhul represents a dedication to preserving clarity. This initial meaning of fine powder gradually expanded to encompass the essence or purest substance of anything. The process of creating kohl itself involved grinding, pulverizing, and purifying raw materials to extract the desired pigment. This act of refinement mirrors the alchemical process of separating the essential from the non-essential, the subtle from the gross, a theme we will explore further. It is vital to remember that this word wasn't confined to cosmetics alone. AL-Kuhul was also used in ancient medicine, underscoring its perceived power to heal and restore balance. Does this suggest that the ancients recognized a connection between physical purification and overall well-being that we have largely forgotten? It's a question worth pondering. The very act of applying kohl, therefore, can be seen as a symbolic ritual, an act of consciously preparing oneself to perceive the world with greater clarity and insight. Now let's turn our attention to the word spirit, a term equally rich in historical and etymological significance. Across various languages, spirit carries profound connotations related to breath, life force, and the animating principle that enlivens all beings. The Latin spiritus, for example, directly translates to breath, while the Greek pneuma and Hebrew ruach share similar meanings, all signifying a vital energy that permeates the body and the world around us. The very act of breathing is what sustains life. This is far from coincidence. Spirit was not originally understood as some ethereal, abstract concept, but as a tangible, vital force, as real and essential as the air we breathe. What if our modern understanding of spirit has become disconnected from its original, more grounded meaning? Consider how breathwork is used in many spiritual practices. The breath is consciously modulated to alter the flow of energy in the body and quiet the mind, opening one up to insights. Similarly, the controlled fermentation of ingredients could be considered as a form of breathwork for liquids. That initial understanding of the breath as an animating force is key to understanding the reverence early civilizations had for alcohol. The connection between breath and spirit is further reinforced by the observation that when someone dies, they expire, literally meaning to breathe out. The departing breath signals the departure of the spirit, the life force that animated the body. This ancient understanding of spirit as a vital life force challenges our modern tendency to view it as something separate from the physical world, something relegated to the realm of religion or metaphysics. In fact, for our ancestors, the spiritual was deeply embedded in the material. To truly grasp the connection between AL-Kuhul and spirit, we must turn to the ancient practice of alchemy, the historical and philosophical bridge that unites the material process of distillation with the spiritual concept of purification. Alchemists viewed the physical world as a reflection of the spiritual world, believing that by manipulating and purifying substances, they could unlock the secrets of the universe and achieve inner transformation. As above, so below. This core tenet of alchemy suggests a profound interconnectedness between all things, a recognition that the processes occurring in the laboratory mirror the processes occurring within the human soul. The alchemist meticulously observed and interacted with the elements, seeking to understand their hidden properties and unlock their transformative potential. Imagine this. The alchemist in his laboratory, surrounded by strange equipment, carefully tending to his alembic still. He is not merely conducting a scientific experiment. He is engaged in a sacred act, a ritual of purification that mirrors his own inner journey. He believes that by purifying substances like alcohol, he can not only unlock their medicinal properties, but also achieve a deeper understanding of himself and the universe. It was their belief that the purification of external substances leads to an equivalent purification of the self. Alchemists believed that the physical world was a symbolic representation of the spiritual world. Thus, alchemy was as much a spiritual practice as it was a scientific one. What if the alchemists were onto something profound, a truth that has been obscured by the reductionist tendencies of modern science? The alchemical understanding of distillation goes far beyond mere physical separation. It represents a profound metaphor for separating the subtle from the gross, the essential from the non-essential within ourselves. The alchemists saw the process of heating, vaporizing, and condensing as mirroring the process of refining the soul, shedding away the impurities and attachments that obscure our true nature. Consider the image of vapor rising from the heated liquid, carrying with it the essence of the substance. This is not unlike the soul ascending from the body at death, leaving behind the physical form and returning to its source. The alchemist sought to capture this elusive spirit and harness its power for healing and transformation. The alembic or alchemical vessel itself becomes a potent symbol of transformation, representing not only the alchemist's own body but the universe itself. The processes of distillation, in turn, mirror inner work. Just as the alchemist carefully controls the heat and pressure within the vessel, so too must we learn to regulate our own emotions and thoughts, creating the conditions necessary for inner transformation. The vessel is a microcosm of the universe, reflecting the interconnectedness of all things. Within its confines, a sacred dance unfolds, a process of death and rebirth, dissolution and renewal. Key alchemists throughout history have contributed significantly to our understanding of the relationship between distillation and spiritual purification. Jabir ibn Hayyan, also known as Geber, credited with inventing the alembic still, provided the technological means for extracting the spirit of substances. What began as a practical invention soon evolved into a powerful tool for spiritual exploration. The alembic allowed alchemists to isolate and concentrate the essential properties of plants and minerals, unlocking their hidden potential. Consider that without Jabir's contribution, much of what we know about the distillation process wouldn't exist. His invention was a turning point in both the history of science and the history of spirituality. Then there's Paracelsus, who emphasized the importance of finding the spirit or essence of a substance for medicinal purposes. He believed that alcohol could be used to extract the healing properties of plants, creating potent elixirs that could cure a wide range of ailments. Paracelsus saw alcohol not merely as an intoxicant, but as a vehicle for delivering the healing power of nature to the human body. His work laid the foundation for modern pharmacology, but it also reflected a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness between the physical and spiritual realms. What if Paracelsus's insights hold the key to unlocking new approaches to healing, approaches that integrate the wisdom of ancient traditions with the rigor of modern science? The culmination of this alchemical pursuit was often the extraction of the quintessence, the elusive fifth element believed to be the purest and most potent form of a substance, embodying its essential spirit. Beyond earth, air, fire, and water, they sought this fifth element, which was believed to be present in all things. The quest for the quintessence was nothing less than a search for enlightenment, for spiritual awakening. Alchemists believed that by extracting the quintessence from substances, they could also unlock their own inner potential and achieve a state of perfect harmony with the universe. Is it possible that this ancient quest still holds relevance for us today, as we seek to find meaning and purpose in a world that often feels fragmented and disconnected? As we move forward, consider the alchemists and the wisdom they can bestow. Conventional wisdom dictates that sobriety is the gold standard, a state of purity achieved through abstinence. But have you ever considered that this seemingly virtuous position might be, in itself, an illusion? What if true sobriety isn't about what you consume, but about how you relate to your internal landscape, regardless of whether it's been altered or not? The very notion of sobriety needs reframing, moving beyond a simplistic yes or no to substances and towards a nuanced understanding of conscious control and self-mastery. Indeed, many who proudly proclaim their abstinence are, in truth, less sober than those who mindfully engage with the world and its offerings. Consider the sober drunk, the individual who may abstain from alcohol, yet remains enslaved to unconscious patterns of behavior, driven by compulsions, anxieties, and emotional reactivity. They might be addicted to work, relentlessly pursuing achievement to fill an inner void, or perhaps they're tethered to social media, craving validation from fleeting likes and comments. Even spiritual practices can become an addiction, a means of escaping uncomfortable emotions or avoiding deeper self-inquiry. These individuals, trapped in rigid, dogmatic thinking, may be less truly free than someone who occasionally enjoys a glass of wine with mindful awareness. The truly sober individual understands how to master the spirits within. The real quest, therefore, is not simply avoiding external substances, but mastering the spirits within, those powerful emotions, desires, and impulses that drive our behavior. This requires a process of inner alchemy, transforming negative energies into positive ones, fear into courage, sadness into compassion. It is about taking active control of our actions and perceptions, consciously shaping our internal world. We all know of people who are constantly angry and resentful of people around them. This is as much a state of inebriation as being drunk on alcohol. The simplistic, just say no mentality, so prevalent in discussions around substance abuse, ignores the deeper psychological and spiritual needs that often underlie addiction. It's a superficial solution that fails to address the root causes of suffering. People don't simply choose to become addicted. They often seek solace in substances to numb trauma, alleviate loneliness, or fill a void of meaning. Understanding the why behind addictive behaviors is far more crucial than simply suppressing the what. The deeper needs must be addressed for true healing to begin. But how does AL-Kuhul fit into this framework of inner transformation? It's more than just a physical substance. It's a symbolic catalyst, a mirror reflecting back to us our hidden emotions, beliefs, and patterns of behavior. When used consciously, it can lower inhibitions, allowing repressed emotions to surface or amplify existing tendencies, revealing aspects of our personality that are usually hidden from view. Instead of shying away from these revelations, we must learn to embrace shadow integration, acknowledging and accepting the darker aspects of ourselves. Running from our shadows only makes them grow stronger. The metaphor of distillation provides a powerful lens for understanding this process. Just as the alchemist separates the essence of a substance from its impurities, so too must we distill the self, separating our true essence from the dross of limiting beliefs, negative emotions, and worldly attachments. The heat of the distillation process can be painful, forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves, but it is ultimately transformative, burning away the superficial layers and revealing our authentic core. Consider the discomfort felt during a difficult therapy session, which can be likened to the heat of the alchemical furnace. It is in these moments of discomfort that true growth occurs. This process mirrors the alchemical wedding, the sacred union of opposites, the masculine and feminine, the conscious and unconscious, the light and shadow. Alcohol, when used consciously, can facilitate this integration, helping us to connect with our shadow side, the parts of ourselves that we tend to reject or deny. What if embracing our imperfections is the key to unlocking our true potential? What if perfection is simply an illusion, an unattainable ideal that keeps us trapped in a cycle of self-criticism? Instead, we can embrace the process of transformation. Just as alchemists sought to transmute base metals into gold, we can transform negative energies into positive ones, fear into courage, anger into compassion, sadness into joy. Alcohol, when used with intention, can serve as a catalyst for this transmutation, helping us to unlock our inner potential and create a more fulfilling life. The turning of lead into gold mirrors, forgiving someone who has wronged us. The weight of resentment lifts, replaced by the lightness of compassion and understanding. Of vital importance is conscious control and mindful consumption. When using alcohol or other substances, setting clear intentions, establishing boundaries, and paying attention to our inner state can significantly influence the experience. What if, before taking a sip, we set an intention for self-reflection, emotional release, or connection with our higher self? By approaching alcohol with reverence and awareness, we can transform it from a mere intoxicant into a tool for personal growth. It is not just about altering our state, but about intentionally directing it. Spiritual technologies can be used to help us to enhance conscious control and deepen the transformative potential of altered states. Meditation, breathwork, and ritual can help us stay grounded and centered during intense experiences, providing a framework for exploring our inner landscape with greater clarity and intention. Using a guided meditation to explore repressed emotions or connect with our inner wisdom while under the influence of alcohol is another way to access other states. Use harm reduction language, not promotion language. Harm reduction must be observed at all times, and we must always prioritize safety, well-being, and responsible use when engaging with alcohol or other substances. Know your limits, avoid mixing substances, and have a support system in place. These practices provide a safety net, ensuring that our exploration of altered states remains a positive and empowering experience. Self-knowledge is key to this process. Furthermore, the conscious creation of altered states can be induced through dance, music, art, and connection with nature. Ecstatic dance can induce a trance-like state, which allows for emotional release and spiritual connection. Immersing ourselves in nature can quiet the mind and open us up to a sense of interconnectedness with all living things. These alternative pathways offer powerful tools for transformation, independent of any external substance. These approaches can deepen our understanding of self. But we cannot ignore the shadow side of altered states, the very real risks of addiction, psychological trauma, and spiritual bypassing. These risks can be mitigated through conscious intention, responsible use, and proper guidance. What if unresolved trauma can be amplified during altered states, leading to negative experiences or psychological harm? Being vigilant is essential. Uncontrolled emotional release can overwhelm the system, unleashing intense emotions without proper integration or support. Packing oneself and seeking guidance from experienced practitioners is of vital importance. The feeling of being overwhelmed by emotions is often likened to the experience of flooding in therapy. It is crucial to approach these experiences with caution and respect. Grounding and integration after engaging in altered states is essential, and we must bring the lessons learned back into everyday life and integrate them into one's sense of self. Journaling, art making, or spending time in nature can help with the integration process, allowing us to translate our insights into concrete action. The altered state is only half the process. Bringing it into this world and truly integrating it is where the true alchemical magic lies. Discerning true transformation from illusion requires self-awareness, humility, and a willingness to confront one's own shadow side. Spiritual ego can create the illusion of progress while actually hindering true growth. What if the greatest obstacle to our transformation is our own ego, clinging to a false sense of self and resisting the necessary changes? Humility is essential for true growth. We must reclaim the ancient wisdom surrounding the responsible and spiritual use of alcohol and other substances. This is done by emphasizing the importance of intention, ritual, and community. The ancient cultures understood the power of these substances and used them with reverence and respect. It's time to reclaim that wisdom and forge a new path forward. The process of inner alchemy extends beyond transforming the self, because as we purify our own consciousness, we contribute to the purification of the collective consciousness. Acts of kindness, compassion, and creativity can have a ripple effect, inspiring others to transform their own lives. Our individual transformation becomes a catalyst for collective change. And if we consider the holographic model of the universe, then the self and the collective are far less separated than we might think. Therefore, challenging conventional beliefs about sobriety and spirituality becomes imperative, which opens us to a new vision that embraces conscious control, mindful exploration, and the transformative potential inherent in all things. Our society can support individuals in exploring their own consciousness responsibly and authentically. It's time to embrace this new paradigm. What if we encourage this exploration? Embark on a journey of self-mastery by embracing the spirits within, understanding their transformative potential, and using them consciously to create a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Master the spirits within, and you will master your destiny. This is the path of the alchemist, the seeker, the one who dares to delve into the depths of their own being and emerge transformed. But what happens if one takes this path without any guidance? But what happens if one takes this path of inner alchemy without any guidance or a map to illuminate the way? Here, Gnostic perspectives offer precisely such a framework, a cosmology that casts a new light on the nature of spirit, matter, and AL-Kuhul's place within that dynamic. They offer a model for understanding how we can get lost and how we can reclaim our place in the universe. Imagine a vast cosmic drama, a flawed creation ruled by a lesser deity, the demiurge, who, in his ignorance, has trapped divine sparks within material forms. This is the core of Gnostic cosmology. The material world, far from being a perfect creation, is seen as an incomplete or even corrupted realm, a prison for the spirit yearning for liberation. Consider the Gnostic myth of Sophia, whose fall from grace resulted in the creation of this imperfect reality. This echoes in our own lives, in those moments where we feel trapped and lost. The Gnostics believed the human spirit to be just such a divine spark, imprisoned within the material body, longing for reunion with the divine source. The body, with its senses and desires, deceives us, distracting us from our true nature and our potential for transcendence. This resonates with the concept of the divided self, explored in depth psychology, where our authentic potential lies dormant, obscured by layers of conditioning, trauma, and false beliefs. Can you feel that spark of divinity struggling to be free? True reality, the Gnostics argued, lies beyond the limitations of this physical realm, residing in a higher spiritual dimension accessible through Gnosis direct, intuitive knowledge. They sought to transcend the confines of sensory perception and intellectual understanding, aiming to attain a direct, unmediated experience of spiritual truth. Like Neo in the Matrix, Gnostics sought to unplug from the false reality and see the world as it truly is. This Gnostic perspective provides a powerful lens for understanding AL-Kuhul's symbolic significance. Alcohol and the altered states it induces can serve to reveal the illusory nature of material reality, offering a glimpse beyond the flawed creation. The disorientation and altered perceptions experienced under the influence can temporarily disrupt our attachment to the mundane, creating an opening, a window, for spiritual insight if approached with mindful intention. But what are the steps to get there? Extend this analogy to distillation. Consider the distiller's work as mirroring the Gnostic's quest. The distiller seeks to free the essential spirit from the confines of the base material. This mirrors the Gnostic quest for spiritual liberation. The distiller, in this sense, becomes a figure akin to a Gnostic adept. It is the soul freeing itself from the prison of the flesh. This reflects the alchemical process of purification to the Gnostic concept of spiritual ascent, where the soul gradually sheds its material attachments, like layers of an onion being peeled away, ultimately returning to its divine source. The stages of distillation, heating, vaporization, condensation become symbolic representations of the stages of spiritual growth. The initial suffering that spurs the search, the moment of insight and revelation, and the subsequent integration of that insight into daily life. Can one use suffering to fuel insight? Revisit the image of the alchemical alembic. Interpret it now as a symbol of the soul's arduous journey through the material world, a series of trials and tribulations designed to purify and refine it, facilitating its return to the divine origin. The alembic, in this context, acts as a map for consciousness itself, guiding us through the internal landscape. The shape of the alembic, mirroring the human form, further underscores the profound interconnectedness of the physical and spiritual realms. How far are you on your journey? This is not an endorsement of reckless abandon, but a call for intentionality. Responsible and intentional use of AL-Kuhul is not about escaping from reality, but about using it as a tool to reveal the illusory nature of that reality, to gain a clearer perspective on the forces that shape our perceptions. Contrast this sharply with irresponsible or addictive use, which only serves to further imprison the spirit within the confines of matter. What are you hoping to gain from your altered state? Consider the archons, spiritual entities described by the Gnostics who actively seek to keep humanity trapped in illusion and ignorance, preventing us from recognizing our true divine nature. These archons, these rulers of the material world, are not merely external forces. They are also reflections of our own internal demons, the limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns that hold us back. These are your own personal demons. The archons manipulate our perception of reality by creating false beliefs, propagating limiting thoughts, and stoking negative emotions, all of which serve to bind us more tightly to the material world. They thrive on fear, scarcity, and division, constantly seeking to undermine our potential for spiritual awakening. This bears a striking resemblance to modern-day propaganda, the deliberate spread of misinformation, and the insidious manipulation tactics employed on social media platforms. Are you aware of the ways you are manipulated? The archons relentlessly promote the illusion of separation, fostering division among humanity through conflict, competition, and the reinforcement of egoic identities. They exploit existing fault lines based on race, religion, and political ideology, turning us against one another and preventing us from recognizing our shared humanity. This plays out in every realm of society, from global conflicts to everyday interactions. Are you falling for the trap? The demonization of alcohol and other tools and practices for expanding consciousness may well be a manifestation of archonic influence, a deliberate strategy designed to prevent us from accessing deeper spiritual truths. The archons, in their fear, recognize the potential for spiritual insight that can arise from altered states of consciousness and seek to suppress it at all costs. It is about control, not enlightenment. How can we break free? Gnosis, that direct, intuitive knowledge of the divine, is emphasized as the key to spiritual liberation. Gnosis transcends mere intellectual understanding. It is a direct, unmediated experience of our true nature and our profound connection to the divine source. This is reminiscent of enlightenment in other spiritual traditions, that moment of profound realization that shatters the illusion of separation. It is the great aha moment. Gnosis necessitates transcending the limitations of the rational mind, moving beyond the realm of thought and belief to experience direct spiritual truth. It is not merely a set of ideas to be memorized, but a state of being to be embodied. Practices such as meditation, contemplation, and other contemplative disciplines can help us quiet the incessant chatter of the mind and access this profound state of knowing. The more you quiet your mind, the more you will know. The Gnostic emphasis on self-knowledge can be tied to the idea of spiritual intoxication. True knowledge of the self, gained through direct experience and inner exploration, can be far more transformative and liberating than any external substance. The feeling of euphoria and profound connection experienced during spiritual awakening can be seen as a form of spiritual intoxication, a glimpse of the divine within. But can this be sustained? This presents us with a challenging tension. AL-Kuhul, that double-edged sword, offers a fleeting glimpse of spiritual insight, but true gnosis, lasting and profound, arises from dedicated inner work, from the consistent practice of self-awareness and conscious transformation. Contrast the temporary euphoria induced by alcohol with the enduring joy and peace that emanate from genuine spiritual awakening, and you will understand the difference. Choose the path of inner work, not the fleeting satisfaction of mere experience. What will you choose? To reclaim your inner power and break free from the archon's insidious control, begin by recognizing their influence in your daily life. Identify the limiting beliefs, negative thought patterns, and emotional triggers that keep you bound to the material world. Journaling can be a powerful tool for surfacing these hidden patterns, bringing them into the light of conscious awareness where they can be examined and challenged. Make the unconscious conscious. It becomes imperative to question authority and challenge the false narratives that perpetuate fear, scarcity, and division. Critically evaluate the information you consume from media outlets, government institutions, and other sources of authority, and be wary of any message that seeks to divide, control, or instill fear. Your discernment is your greatest weapon. Seek out truth, not comfort. Embrace meditation and mindfulness, powerful tools for cultivating inner stillness and accessing direct spiritual insight. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and simply observe your breath, allowing thoughts and feelings to arise and pass without judgment. Connect with your inner wisdom and intuition. What messages are waiting for you? Embrace your divine nature, remembering your true self, and reclaiming your innate power to create your own reality and live authentically. Use affirmations and visualizations to embody your highest potential, imagining yourself living with joy, purpose, and unwavering self-belief. You are a divine being. Remember who you are. Consider the implications of quantum physics. Concepts such as wave-particle duality and the observer effect challenge our conventional understanding of the solidity and objectivity of the material world. The fact that quantum particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously until observed suggests that consciousness itself plays a vital role in shaping reality. You are the observer. You are the creator. What if consciousness is the fundamental ground of being, the very foundation upon which all of reality is built? What if the material world, with all its apparent solidity and permanence, is simply a manifestation of consciousness, a projection of the divine mind? This is the essence of mind-stuff monism, the idea that everything in the universe is ultimately composed of consciousness. Understand this, and you will understand everything. By understanding the illusory nature of materiality, we can empower ourselves to change our reality, to create a more fulfilling and meaningful life. By shifting our consciousness, focusing our intention, and aligning ourselves with the divine flow, we can literally alter the fabric of our experience. Change your mind, change your reality. what will you create? AL-Kuhul's ultimate lesson, therefore, is not about escaping reality through the fleeting intoxication of altered states, but about transcending the illusion of materiality through awareness, self-knowledge, and conscious creation. True liberation comes not from being controlled by external substances or forces, but from mastering the spirits within, from recognizing our own inherent divinity and reclaiming our power to shape our destiny. The power has always been within you. What will you do with it? Now, to truly master the spirits within, to become the distiller of your own soul, it's crucial to understand the fundamental elements at play. This is where the alchemical trinity of sulfur, mercury, and salt comes into focus, not as literal substances to be manipulated in a laboratory, but as symbolic representations of the core aspects of the self and the very process of transformation. Think of these as the building blocks of your inner world, the forces that shape your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Are you ready to explore these hidden dimensions? Sulfur, in this alchemical context, represents the soul or spirit, the fiery essence of your being. It is the principle of combustion, passion, and transformation, that insatiable will and desire to express yourself fully. Just as sulfur ignites and transforms base materials, it represents the intoxicating drive for self-expression, the burning desire to leave your mark on the world. Consider the artist consumed by their craft, the entrepreneur driven by their vision, or the spiritual seeker yearning for enlightenment. This fire can create or destroy, but sulfur can be a double-edged sword. This fiery essence can manifest as both the creative fire of inspiration and the destructive fire of uncontrolled passion, a critical imbalance. Imagine the artist whose creative fire consumes their relationships, the entrepreneur who sacrifices their health for success, or the spiritual seeker who becomes consumed by dogma. The key lies in harnessing and directing the fiery essence of sulfur with conscious intention. How will you manage your inner fire? Mercury, on the other hand, embodies the principle of fluidity, adaptability, and communication. This is the realm of the mind, the intellect, and the capacity to bridge different realms of experience. It is the element that allows us to navigate the ever-changing currents of life, to adapt to new situations, and to communicate our thoughts and feelings effectively. This is what allows us to access altered states. Mercury facilitates clarity of thought. Mercury, just like sulfur, possesses a dual nature. It can represent both clear thinking and deceptive illusions, highlighting the need for discernment. Picture a skilled diplomat negotiating a complex treaty, a scientist unraveling the mysteries of the universe, or a con artist weaving an elaborate deception. The ability to discern truth from falsehood, to navigate the complexities of the mind with clarity and precision, is the key to harnessing Mercury's transformative power. Can you discern the truth? Finally, there is salt, the principle of stability, grounding, and manifestation. Salt connects to the body, the material world, and the ability to bring ideas into form. It's what allows us to ground our dreams and visions in reality, to create tangible results from our inner work. Without salt, our spiritual aspirations remain mere fantasies, ungrounded and unable to manifest in the world. Without salt, nothing can manifest. Again, salt is dualistic. It represents both structure and rigidity, highlighting the need for balance and flexibility. Think of a sturdy building providing shelter and security, a well-defined set of rules providing order and stability, or a rigid belief system providing a sense of certainty. While structure and stability are essential, too much rigidity can stifle creativity, hinder growth, and prevent us from adapting to change. Find flexibility. These three elements, sulfur, mercury, and salt, intertwine with the ancient understanding of the four temperaments: sanguine, choleric, melancholic, and phlegmatic, each linked to air, fire, earth, and water respectively. Think of them as tendencies rather than fixed states. Alcohol's influence lies in its power to amplify existing imbalances within these temperaments, often leading to exaggerated behaviors and emotional states that can cloud one's clarity. Are you familiar with your temperament? Consider a choleric individual, already prone to outbursts of anger, becoming even more aggressive and volatile under the influence of alcohol, their fiery sulfur nature intensified to a destructive degree. Conversely, imagine a melancholic person, already struggling with depression, sinking further into despair and isolation as alcohol amplifies their salt-related tendencies towards withdrawal and introspection. The key is not to suppress these tendencies, but to understand and harmonize them. Where lies your imbalance? The alchemical goal, in this context, is to achieve equilibrium among these elements and temperaments, to cultivate a state of wholeness and balance that allows us to navigate the challenges of life with resilience and grace. This mirrors the psychological concept of self-regulation, the ability to manage our emotions, thoughts, and behaviors in a way that promotes well-being and allows us to pursue our goals effectively. The goal is not perfection, but harmony. By consciously working to understand and balance your own temperament, you can mitigate the negative effects of alcohol and enhance its potential for positive transformation. Use AL-Kuhul as a mirror, carefully observing how it interacts with your innate tendencies, revealing hidden imbalances that need to be addressed. This requires intentionality, a conscious commitment to self-awareness and self-regulation. What will you observe? Here, the archetype of the wounded healer emerges, one who has faced their own demons and emerged stronger, wiser, and more compassionate as a result, guiding others on their own paths to healing. Many shamans, therapists, and spiritual teachers have walked this path, transforming their personal suffering into a source of wisdom and empathy that allows them to connect with others on a profound level. The wound becomes the gift. However, alcohol can present a deceptive illusion, a crutch that provides temporary relief from pain but ultimately hinders true healing. It's a siren song promising escape, but delivering only deeper entanglement. Rather than confronting one's wounds, alcohol can become a means of avoidance, numbing the pain, but preventing the necessary work of processing and integrating the trauma. The escape becomes a trap. True healing involves transforming pain into power, using one's suffering as a catalyst for growth and compassion. This is the essence of the alchemical process, turning lead into gold, transforming base emotions into higher states of consciousness. The individual who has overcome addiction can become a beacon of hope for others struggling with the same demons, using their experience to guide and support those still trapped in the darkness. Your pain can become someone else's medicine. Vulnerability becomes essential, fostering authentic connection and true healing. Alcohol can lower inhibitions, creating a temporary illusion of vulnerability, but true vulnerability springs from self-acceptance and self-compassion. Sharing your struggles with others, authentically and without pretense, can create a powerful sense of community and support, breaking down the walls of isolation and fostering genuine connection. Dare to be vulnerable. Yet, lurking in the shadows is the temptation of nihilism, the belief that life is meaningless and without inherent value. This can arise as a spiritual crisis. This mirrors the dark night of the soul, a period of intense doubt and despair that often precedes a profound spiritual breakthrough. Nihilism is not a destination, but a dangerous detour. Alcohol can be particularly alluring, offering a temporary escape from the perceived meaninglessness of existence. For those wrestling with nihilism, the promise of oblivion, of a temporary respite from the burdens of consciousness, can be incredibly seductive. This is especially true in a world that often seems chaotic, unjust, and devoid of inherent purpose. Do not fall for this lie. The alchemical and Gnostic paths ultimately lead beyond nihilism to a deeper understanding of meaning and purpose. It involves embracing the void, confronting your deepest fears, and creating your own values. The act of creating art, helping others, or pursuing your passions can provide a profound sense of meaning and purpose, filling the void with intention and connection. Choose creation over oblivion. Remember, nihilism strips away agency, leaving you feeling powerless and adrift. While AL-Kuhul can reinforce this sense of powerlessness if abused, the responsible path empowers agency through conscious control. It's about reclaiming your ability to shape your own life, to create your own meaning, and to find purpose in a world that often seems devoid of it. Reclaim your agency. AL-Kuhul can be utilized for shadow work, the process of exploring and integrating the unconscious aspects of the self. The shadow encompasses both negative and positive qualities that have been repressed or disowned, waiting to be brought into the light of conscious awareness. This is not about banishing the darkness, but understanding its role in shaping our wholeness. Are you ready to meet your shadow? When used responsibly, AL-Kuhul can act as a tool for unveiling hidden aspects of the shadow, bringing unconscious emotions and patterns to the surface. Perhaps it reveals suppressed anger, long-forgotten traumas, or hidden desires, providing an opportunity for healing and integration. But this unveiling requires careful navigation, a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. Tread carefully. Navigating the shadow requires discernment and compassion, avoiding judgment and self-criticism. The goal is not to eliminate the shadow, but to integrate it into your conscious awareness, recognizing that even the darkest aspects of yourself are valuable parts of your wholeness. This process often involves journaling, therapy, or creative expression, allowing you to explore and understand the hidden depths of your psyche. Embrace your darkness. Acceptance is the foundation. AL-Kuhul might initially reveal what needs acceptance, but the real power comes from actively choosing to embrace formerly disowned parts of yourself. This self-acceptance is not passive resignation, but an active and empowered choice to love yourself unconditionally, flaws and all. Embrace your whole self, and you will find your true power. To begin this alchemical transformation, consider keeping an alchemical journal, recording your thoughts, feelings, and experiences in a way that promotes self-reflection and insight. Track your reactions to AL-Kuhul, identifying patterns and triggers that reveal hidden aspects of your shadow. Use conscious breathwork techniques to regulate your emotions, access altered states, and promote inner healing. Calm anxiety and release repressed emotions before or after consuming alcohol. Create a sacred space, a physical or mental sanctuary for personal transformation, connecting with your inner wisdom. Practice shadow integration. Think of the last time you experienced a truly intense emotional release, a cathartic cry, a surge of anger finally expressed, or the profound relief of forgiving someone. What if that experience, as turbulent as it may have felt, was akin to the alchemical process of distillation, a necessary step in separating the pure essence of your being from the impurities that cloud your spirit? In distillation, heat is applied to a mixture, causing the volatile components to vaporize and rise, leaving behind the heavier, less desirable elements. Similarly, repressed emotions, like impurities clinging to your soul, need to be heated, brought to the surface so they can be processed and released. Consider the human body itself as the distilling device. The heart providing the fire, the mind acting as the condenser, and the tears or expressions of anger serving as the purified spirit escaping. What if your emotional breakdowns are not signs of weakness, but powerful breakthroughs in the making? This transformative journey, whether in the creation of AL-Kuhul or the cultivation of the soul, unfolds in 3 key stages: separation, purification, and integration. Each stage is indispensable, a vital step in ascending to a higher state of being. The distiller meticulously separates the alcohol from the water, the alchemist painstakingly purifies the spirit from its dross, and the awakened individual courageously integrates their shadow self into a cohesive whole. The physical process mirrors the psychological one. Both require a conscious effort to refine and elevate the inherent potential. Are you ready to embark on this threefold path of transformation? The initial stage, separation, demands a conscious severing of ties with toxic relationships, detrimental environments, and limiting belief systems that no longer foster growth. It's about creating space for the authentic self to emerge. The first step to real transformation is always awareness. Identify the people, places, and things that contribute to your sense of imbalance. The draining job that sucks your energy, the toxic family member who constantly undermines your confidence, or the self-sabotaging habits that keep you trapped in a cycle of negativity. Just as a distiller carefully selects the ingredients for their mash, choose consciously what you allow into your life. This separation is not an act of malice, but an act of self-preservation, paving the way for true shadow integration. What will you choose to separate from? Next comes purification, which involves a courageous descent into your inner landscape, confronting the difficult emotions and repressed memories that have been lurking in the shadows. Practices like journaling, meditation, and therapy can serve as powerful tools for purifying your inner world. This purification requires bravely facing your demons or acknowledging your shadow self, the disowned parts of your psyche that hold immense power. Emotional regulation is intimately linked to your overall energy levels. When you suppress your emotions, you deplete your vital force. Reclaim your power by facing your hidden landscape. What repressed emotions await your attention? Techniques for working with challenging emotions are vital at this stage. Use mindfulness to observe your emotions without judgment, acknowledging their presence without getting swept away. Practice self-compassion, treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. Breathe deeply and allow the emotions to flow, recognizing that they are temporary visitors, not permanent residents. Just as impurities are filtered out during the distillation process, these practices help you separate the essence of your emotions from the negative thought patterns and limiting beliefs that amplify their intensity. What inner demons will you integrate into your wholeness? Finally, integration involves building a new foundation, one based on self-compassion, self-acceptance, and authentic values. This is the alchemical marriage of your conscious and unconscious aspects, creating a more complete and empowered self. This involves consciously choosing to cultivate positive habits, nurture supportive relationships, and adopt empowering beliefs that align with your highest aspirations. Set healthy boundaries, practice self-care, and align your actions with your values. Remember that integration is a journey of progress, not a pursuit of perfection. Consider the esoteric symbolism inherent in the distillation process itself. The alembic, the distillation apparatus, can be seen as a microcosm of the human body, the head representing the alembic's cap, the vessel symbolizing the torso, and the fire beneath embodying the heart. The rising vapor, the purified spirit of AL-Kuhul, becomes a metaphor for the ascent of the soul, striving towards enlightenment and self-realization. What inner alchemy is waiting to be unlocked? The image of a serpent coiled around the alembic connects directly to the Kundalini energy in yoga, representing the awakening of spiritual power that lies dormant within each of us. Imagine each part of the distillation process corresponding to an energy center in your body, each waiting to be activated and integrated. This is where physical and spiritual alchemy meet. Can you feel the serpent stirring? Fire is a central component of the distillation process, representing the transformative power of passion, desire, and will. It both destroys and creates, burning away impurities while simultaneously providing the energy for transmutation. Alchemists believed that fire could be used to purify and transmute substances, unlocking their hidden potential. Fire, then, is your passion. Mastering your inner fire allows you to harness it for positive transformation, directing its energy towards your goals and aspirations. Will you master your inner fire? Water, the solvent used in the distillation process, represents our emotions, intuition, and unconscious mind. Like water that dissolves various compounds, our emotions can either cloud or clarify our perceptions. Understanding your emotions and intuition is vital, providing resources for growth and healing. Emotional regulation is key. Just as water is purified during distillation, the emotional turbulence can settle and clarify your inner landscape. Will you trust the waters of your unconscious? Here, a responsible engagement with your shadow self becomes a critical component of your spiritual journey. Your shadow encompasses the repressed emotions, fears, and limiting beliefs that hold you back from realizing your full potential. Approaching shadow work with compassion, self-awareness, and a willingness to confront difficult truths allows you to transmute those darker aspects of yourself into sources of strength and wisdom. Practices like journaling, dream analysis, and therapy can help bring your shadow aspects into conscious awareness. Will you dare to face your shadow? It's also important to acknowledge that AL-Kuhul can serve as a catalyst for shadow work, but it can also amplify negative tendencies if not approached with conscious intention. Therefore, create a ritual where you consciously engage with difficult emotions, allowing them to surface and be released in a controlled environment. Perhaps this involves fasting, intense meditation, or even controlled substance use in a safe and supportive setting. This may be uncomfortable. Are you ready to confront your dark side? However, shadow work necessitates proper guidance and a deep understanding of your inner mechanics. Seek support from therapists, mentors, or experienced practitioners who can help you navigate the complexities of your psyche. Without proper guidance, shadow work can be dangerous, leading to psychological distress, emotional overwhelm, or even spiritual bypassing. Without this, you risk spiritual injury. Remember the dualistic nature of AL-Kuhul. It can heal or harm depending on how it is wielded. Therefore, seek guidance. Ultimately, spiritual growth becomes a process of transmuting the base metals of your being, your negative emotions, limiting beliefs, and self-defeating habits into gold, wisdom, compassion, and love. AL-Kuhul, when approached with conscious intention, can serve as a catalyst in this alchemical process, revealing the areas that need transformation and providing the fuel for your inner fire. The experience of overcoming adversity can lead to greater resilience, empathy, and a deeper appreciation for life, echoing the Gnostic principles of spiritual ascension. Are you ready to transform lead into gold? Therefore, cultivate wisdom, the understanding of the interconnectedness of all things, recognizing the illusory nature of the ego, and embracing the present moment. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, and contemplation can help you cultivate this essential quality. Reclaim AL-Kuhul as spirit, when your body, mind, and soul operate in harmonious alignment, when you have become the distiller of your own being, transforming base emotions into higher states of consciousness. The only way to truly reclaim it is to become one with it. Ultimately, the true essence of AL-Kuhul is the transformation of the human condition. By harnessing its power for conscious exploration and self-discovery, we can unlock our hidden potential, integrate our shadow selves, and ascend to a higher state of being. The only way to control it is to be it. Only when you have become one with your body, your mind, and your soul can you reclaim the title spirit. In the next section, we'll explore the ways you can begin on this path towards transmutation. The alchemist's fire, that eternal flame flickering beneath the retort, wasn't merely about heating substances. It was about igniting the inner flame of transformation, the very spark of desire that propels us toward growth and self-discovery. This inner fire, the driving force behind our passions and creative endeavors, demands conscious tending, for if left unchecked, it can consume us with its destructive force. Just as the alchemist meticulously regulates the heat of their furnace to achieve the desired transmutation, so too must we cultivate mindfulness and self-awareness to manage the heat of our emotions and intentions, constantly adjusting the inner temperature to avoid burnout or implosion. Consider the subtle art of balancing ambition with contentment, striving for progress while simultaneously appreciating the present moment. What happens when your inner fire burns too hot or sputters and dies? The transformative power of AL-Kuhul lies not just in the distillation process, but in experiencing the burnt-out uncomfortable friction that arises when we confront our limitations and push beyond our comfort zones. This burn is the catalyst for breaking down old, stagnant patterns, creating the necessary space for new growth to emerge. Think of the athlete pushing their muscles to the point of exhaustion, the artist wrestling with a creative block, or the individual confronting a deeply ingrained fear. Each of these experiences involves a burn, a moment of intense challenge that ultimately leads to greater strength, resilience, and self-awareness. Without the burn, we remain stagnant. What discomfort are you avoiding that holds the key to your transformation? However, the fire of transformation must be controlled. AL-Kuhul begins as a volatile spirit, a chaotic force that must be tamed and refined to become a source of healing and inspiration. Similarly, our passions, if left unchecked, can lead to destructive behaviors, impulsive decisions, and a general sense of inner turmoil. The alchemical process and the spiritual path is about learning to master this inner fire, directing its energy towards positive creation rather than allowing it to wreak havoc on our lives. Uncontrolled inner fire manifests as anger outbursts, addictive tendencies, and self-destructive patterns, scorching everything in their path. Cultivating self-discipline, emotional intelligence, and a strong moral compass, you gain mastery of this inner fire, turning it into a tool for building a life of purpose and fulfillment. How will you tame your inner fire to forge a better you? The art of evaporation and distillation mirrors the spiritual practice of letting go of the non-essential attachments, beliefs, and identities that no longer serve our growth. This process of shedding what no longer aligns with our true selves can be painful, akin to peeling off layers of skin, but it is ultimately liberating. Imagine the puff of smoke rising from the still, carrying away the impurities and leaving behind the pure essence of the spirit. This is akin to the old self fading away, making room for the new. This principle is powerfully echoed in the act of decluttering one's physical space, which can have profound mental and emotional health benefits. By releasing the objects that no longer bring joy or serve a purpose, we create space for new energy and opportunities to flow into our lives. What non-essentials are you clinging to that prevent you from evolving? Condensation, the next crucial step in the alchemical process, symbolizes the integration of new insights, experiences, and qualities into our sense of self. This involves embracing both the light and shadow aspects of our being, creating a more complete and authentic identity. The key is not to repress or deny any part of ourselves, but rather to understand and accept all aspects of our being. Consider the process of integrating a difficult experience into your life story, finding meaning and purpose in the pain. The condensation creates clarity. By acknowledging the lessons learned and the growth that resulted, you transform a source of suffering into a catalyst for wisdom and compassion. What aspects of yourself are you resisting that hold the key to your wholeness? AL-Kuhul acts as a mirror, reflecting back to us our hidden truths, both positive and negative. It doesn't create these traits, but reveals them, amplifying what already exists within us. Responsible and mindful use of AL-Kuhul can be a powerful tool for self-discovery, allowing us to see ourselves more clearly, while irresponsible use can lead to self-deception and a distorted perception of reality. Alcohol lowers inhibitions, allowing repressed emotions to surface or amplifying existing tendencies, revealing aspects of our personality that are usually hidden behind a carefully constructed facade. By observing these reflections with honesty and self-awareness, we can gain valuable insights into our inner workings and identify areas that need attention. What truths does the mirror of intoxication reveal about you? Yet, the promise of enhanced creativity, humor, or connection that AL-Kuhul seems to offer can often be a deceptive illusion conjured by our lower self. This inner trickster can manipulate our perceptions, leading us to believe we are more brilliant, witty, or charming than we actually are. Think of the individual who believes they are the life of the party after a few drinks, only to cringe at the memory of their behavior the next morning. This self-deception prevents genuine growth and connection, trapping us in a cycle of superficiality. What promises does your lower self whisper in your ear, luring you away from authenticity? The philosopher's stone, the ultimate goal of the alchemist, is not a literal object, but a symbol of the fully realized self-estate of wholeness, balance, and enlightenment. It represents the integration of all aspects of our being, the alchemical marriage of our conscious and unconscious, our light and shadow. The stone is the unity of our strengths and flaws. The pursuit of wisdom, compassion, and self-mastery are essential components of this process as we strive to become more fully ourselves. The alchemist within seeks the philosopher's stone. How do you seek to know yourself? The distillation process becomes a powerful metaphor for achieving this metaphorical philosopher's stone. Through meditation, we still the conscious mind, creating space for the subconscious to surface, allowing us to explore the depths of our inner landscape. Through therapy, we create heat in our minds, transforming our personal landscapes and releasing the traumas and limiting beliefs that hold us back. Each of these practices serves as a crucible, refining our essence and bringing us closer to the philosopher's stone of self-realization. What steps are you taking to distill your personal traits and uncover your inner gold? Al-Kuhul has long been viewed as the elixir of life, and there's a reason for this enduring association. The true elixir of life, however, is not merely a substance that extends physical longevity, but a state of being, a state of vibrant health, mental clarity, and spiritual connection that enriches every moment of our existence. Practices like mindfulness, yoga, and healthy eating are powerful ways to cultivate this elixir of life within ourselves, nourishing our bodies, minds, and spirits. Remember, extending the spirit creates true longevity. How do you nourish your spirit to prolong your existence? The true value of Al-Kuhul lies in finding the proper and intentional path towards extending the spirit, not merely the body. Ancient cultures, such as the Egyptians, revered Al-Kuhul, but did not abuse it, and actively worked to ensure its proper applications within ritual and ceremony. These cultures approached their relationship with Al-Kuhul as a sacred practice, a means of connecting with the divine and enhancing their spiritual understanding. Think of the role of wine in early Christianity, a symbol of transformation and communion with God. In these contexts, Al-Kuhul was not an end in itself, but a tool for facilitating a deeper connection to the sacred. How can you apply the sacred practices of ancient cultures into your modern existence? Intentionality is critical in all aspects of spiritual growth, and the more challenging the exercise, the more essential it becomes. Setting clear intentions, visualizing desired outcomes, and aligning one's actions with one's values can significantly enhance the transformative power of any practice. Before embarking on any spiritual endeavor, from meditation to shadow work, take the time to clarify your intentions, focusing on what you hope to achieve and how you plan to approach the process. Set a specific intention for each meditation session, such as cultivating compassion, releasing fear, or connecting with one's inner wisdom. This intentionality adds energy and clarity to your spiritual journey, ensuring that you are moving in a direction that aligns with your highest aspirations. What intentions will you set to guide your path? Ritual and ceremony serve as powerful containers for transformation, providing a structure and framework for intentional action. By creating a sacred space and engaging in symbolic acts, we can amplify our intentions and tap into the collective unconscious, accessing deeper levels of meaning and power. Create a personal ritual for releasing old patterns or setting new intentions, incorporating elements like candles, incense, music, and meaningful objects. Each element of the ritual becomes a symbol of your commitment to transformation. How can you harness the power of ritual to amplify your spiritual growth? Seeing ritual as symbolic is key. It's not about the literal acts themselves, but the intention and energy behind them. Al-Kuhul can greatly assist in the symbolic nature of the process, but must be monitored to ensure it does not take control. The candle flame represents the inner fire, the incense symbolizes purification, and the music creates an atmosphere of reverence and connection. By consciously engaging with these symbols, we can deepen our understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe. How do you interpret your personal symbolism? Therefore, reclaim Al-Kuhul as spirit, a symbol of conscious evolution, self-mastery, and the transformative potential inherent in all aspects of life. By reclaiming the name, we reclaim our personal power, acknowledging our ability to shape our own destinies and evolve into our highest selves. Approach all experiences, both positive and negative, as opportunities for growth and transformation, consciously choosing to learn and evolve from every challenge. This conscious effort allows us to embrace the fullness of life, with all its joys and sorrows, knowing that each experience is a stepping stone on the path to enlightenment. Will you reclaim AL-Kuhul as spirit? We cannot become spirit, as it is a title we apply to ourselves once the journey toward it has been consciously acknowledged. This process is one of continuous improvement, a means towards a more enlightened state, never an end state to be achieved. Think of setting a destination on a map to your own life path. You must travel the journey to truly understand your goal. You do not simply appear at your destination, you must become it, embodying the qualities and characteristics of the person you aspire to be. Embrace the journey and reclaim your spirit. In the next section, we will explore techniques to assist your spiritual journey. AL-Kuhul, then, is more than a mere substance of intoxication. It is a mirror reflecting our innermost selves, a catalyst for profound transformation when wielded with conscious intention. It is not a blanket endorsement for unrestrained consumption, but rather a reframing of its inherent potential, a recognition that within its volatile essence lies the potential for self-discovery. Consider how the ancient alchemists viewed the distillation process not just as a chemical reaction, but as a symbolic representation of the soul's purification, separating the essential from the non-essential, the divine from the mundane, and guiding practitioners toward ascension. The recurring pattern of extraction and purification, so central to our exploration, extends far beyond the laboratory and permeates every facet of personal growth. Emotional release, the conscious unraveling of repressed traumas, becomes a form of alchemical distillation, separating the pure essence of feeling from the toxic residue of unresolved pain. Shadow work, the courageous confrontation with our darkest aspects, mirrors the heating and evaporation stages, burning away the illusions we hold about ourselves and revealing the raw, untainted core of our being. Spiritual awakening, that elusive state of expanded consciousness, parallels the final condensation, the integration of all aspects of self into a unified, harmonious whole. These processes, seemingly disparate, are but variations on the same underlying principle, the journey from raw potential to refined essence. The answer to our initial question, the riddle of why AL-Kuhul carries the name Spirit, now crystallizes with clarity. Spirit denotes the vital life force, the inherent potential for transformation coursing through all things. AL-Kuhul, therefore, emerges as a potent symbol of conscious evolution and self-mastery, not merely a vehicle for intoxication or escape. The path towards unlocking this potential demands conscious choices, a mindful navigation of its powerful effects, and an unwavering commitment to self-awareness. The transformative perspective offered here shifts the focus away from external substances and toward the realm of inner alchemy, the true crucible of transformation. AL-Kuhul can act as a temporary guide, a tool for exploration, but it is not a requirement. The true work lies within, in the conscious choices we make to confront our shadows, cultivate our light, and distill the essence of our being. See all experiences, both those that uplift you and those that challenge you, as opportunities for inner growth, conscious choices on a deliberate path. These revelations connect to broader societal currents, challenging the often simplistic demonization of altered states, and calling for a more nuanced understanding of addiction, a more compassionate approach to those who struggle with it, and a greater appreciation for the ancient wisdom that recognized the sacred potential within these experiences. Our society's unease with altered states often reflects a deeper fear of the unknown, a resistance to change, and a reluctance to confront the hidden aspects of ourselves, which can limit our potential for individual and collective growth. Note the critical difference between embracing exploration and rejecting known verifiable data. The underlying meaning woven throughout these explorations highlights the interconnectedness of all things, the potential for transformation that resides within every experience, every substance, every relationship. The alchemical process, then, is not merely about transforming physical substances, but about transforming ourselves, and by extension, the world around us. This truth holds an inverse. Ignoring the alchemical process works to devolve our spirit. This understanding carries profound implications for personal responsibility and conscious creation. You possess the power to shape your reality, to consciously choose the thoughts, emotions, and actions that align with your highest values and intentions, and to create a life that is both fulfilling and meaningful. Take ownership of your inner landscape, consciously choosing to cultivate thoughts of gratitude, compassion, and empowerment. By embracing the spirits within your emotions, your desires, your impulses, and learning to master them through conscious awareness and self-compassion, you unlock your full potential and live a life of authentic purpose and joyful expression. Approach your inner world with curiosity, with compassion, and a willingness to explore the depths of your being, discovering the hidden treasures that lie dormant within. Therefore, reclaim AL-Kuhul as spirit, a portal to self-knowledge, revealing hidden aspects of your being and providing opportunities for profound growth and transformation when approached with respect and intention. Use alcohol mindfully, paying close attention to its subtle effects on your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, using this information to gain deeper insights into yourself. How do you react to the world around you when inhibitions subside? Embrace your role as the alchemist within, capable of transmuting your own base metals into gold through conscious effort and unwavering self-awareness. See your challenges and struggles not as obstacles, but as opportunities for profound growth, embracing the transformative process as a lifelong journey of self-discovery and renewal. Therefore, alcohol is called spirit, not as a guarantee of enlightenment, but because it embodies the inherent potential for transformation, the vital life force that connects us all. The name spirit serves as an invitation to explore the deeper dimensions of our being, to unlock our full potential, to embark on a journey of conscious evolution. Release the tension created by the initial mystery of the name, embracing the power of choice, of personal agency. You are not a victim of circumstance, but an active creator of your own reality, a conscious participant in the unfolding drama of your life. Embrace your freedom to choose your path, to set your intentions, and to create a life that is aligned with your values and your aspirations. If AL-Kuhul can serve as a catalyst for transformation, what other substances, what other practices, what other experiences can serve a similar purpose? Is community essential for maintaining direction? Practices like meditation, yoga, art, and conscious connection with nature serve as powerful catalysts for inner growth. What is the responsibility of each individual to ensure they do not negatively impact the collective? By embracing altered states with intention and awareness, we unlock new levels of creativity, new wellsprings of compassion, and new depths of understanding. Share your experiences with alcohol, with altered states, with transformation in the comments below, creating a sense of community and shared learning. What were your most significant challenges? What unexpected successes did you encounter along the way? What unforeseen insights did you discover? In a future exploration, we will delve deeper into the alchemy of relationships, the transformative power of conscious connection, and the subtle art of creating harmonious bonds. Master the spirits within, and you master your world. Like, follow, and share for those inspired to take